Surprisingly, despite the number of 1440p 140Hz IPS monitors there are in the world, there really hasn't been a 1080p equivalent until now. This is the AOC 24G2U, and quite frankly it's amazing and well worth a look at. Now let's start off with the panel itself, since that's the main aspect here. It is a IPS panel. It's honestly stunning to look at, gorgeous from viewing angles, and it's actually very nice to just generally look at color-wise, but also color accuracy, as at least by volume anyway, it covers 116% of the sRGB spectrum and about 80% of both the Adobe RGB and DCI-P3 spectrum. Now of course, being a gaming monitor, it doesn't really matter how pretty the colors look if it's an awful gaming experience. And you might be thinking that since it's an IPS panel, is the panel just too slow for gaming? Well, I'm happy to report that generally speaking, it's a very good experience to play games on. While I'm still no better at playing CSGO, I still had a lot of fun playing on it, and ghosting wise, it wasn't something I actually noticed when playing games. Now, the black to white response time is slower than the TN rivals, with this panel being somewhere between 8 to 10 milliseconds, whereas their TN rivals are normally around about 5 milliseconds, but it's still a good enough experience, and like I said, I didn't notice any major problems while actually gaming on it, only when looking at the high-speed footage. Now on the topic of high-speed footage, AOC must have done some really kind of black magic stuff to this thing, because the input lag, or at least the total system input lag, i.e. measuring from a click on a mouse to something happening on screen, was around about 20 milliseconds, which is actually significantly lower than basically every monitor I've ever tested, which are normally in the 30 to 40 millisecond range for this exact same test. The result of all of that is that you get a stunning gaming experience both visually and in terms of how smooth and responsive it is. While the panel itself can be a little on the slower side, at least in comparison to the TN counterparts, it's still a fantastic experience that, like I said, I have no problems recommending. Now taking a look at the monitor itself, it's actually pretty stylish, and besides the small red accent along the bottom and a little bit on the stand, has a pretty low-key design. The stand itself, or the base, is actually pretty small and really doesn't take up much space on your desk. Of course, has a VESA mount if you'd prefer, and has all of the adjustability you would expect from a pretty decent monitor, including a good amount of height adjust, a good amount of tilt and swivel, as well as also rotation if you want to put it into portrait mode. I/O-wise, you're looking at a reasonably comprehensive setup with 2 HDMI ports, a display port, and a VGA port if you want to plug in what we'd probably consider ancient technology at this point, and a 4-port USB hub. It's a USB 3 hub with a charging port as well. I think the icing on the cake for this monitor, at least at the time of filming and in the UK, is its price. It's under £190, making it cheaper than AOC's own TN counterpart, the G2590px, and that's quite frankly insane. It's a fantastic monitor, especially for that price, and considering that, you know, normal, at least in the 1440p world, IPS monitors are generally a good like £100 more expensive than their VA or TN counterparts. To see this being actually cheaper than a good TN version is quite frankly insane. It also does have FreeSync, which in my limited experience, both FreeSync and G-Sync worked really well on this, so big thumbs up there. And like I said, it's a generally great gaming experience that I'd be more than happy to recommend. Now to answer the usual question of would I put this on my desk, I think I've made it clear enough that I definitely would. Would I recommend it to you? Well, again, I think I've also made that pretty clear that yes, this is a fantastic experience. I can highly recommend it, and as long as you're okay with putting up with a slightly slower panel, you get much nicer colors, great viewing angles, and of course an incredibly responsive overall experience that, like I said, I'm more than happy to recommend. Now with that said, those are my thoughts, and I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think of a 1080p 144Hz IPS monitor like this one, and what do you think of this one specifically? Anything and all, do let me know in those comments down below, and let me know in the poll up above if you prefer TN, VA, or IPS in this 144Hz category. Now if you want to see more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, do hit that subscribe button with a bell notification icon to be notified of those new videos. If you want to check out pricing when and where you watch this for this monitor, then do take a look at the top link in the description down below. It's an Amazon affiliate link, but it will take you to your local Amazon store where you can see all of that. If you want to check out more ways to support the channel other than just, watching these videos and subscribing, then you can check out the rest of the links in the description too. There's Amazon and Overclockers UK affiliate links which don't cost you anything to use, but massively help me out when you do use them. Or there's Patreon if you want to get cool rewards and support me directly, or stuff like hoodies and t-shirts like this one, or a load of other designs. There's also stuff like Streamlabs OBS if you want to start streaming, and private internet access, which is a great and cheap VPN. And you can also take a look at the links, the videos over there, especially the 1080p 140Hz, 240Hz monitor guide if you want to check out other monitors like this one. Otherwise, that is pretty much it. I will leave you in peace. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. We'll see you all in the next video.